there. Playing too safe. Didn't scout that Stargate. So close. So close, but not close enough. Deadwing's a big map, Valdez.
Yeah, we could see something similar here at a Classic, or could we see some tricky stuff out of Creator? He may want to take one, sneak a win back, and make it 1-1. That would be a great place for him. Like we said earlier on, he does not want to go down 0-2. Let's see how the second game is going to go right now. Down here in the bottom left, in the blue, it is Classic.
Solid victory in game one up against this guy at the top left. For Prime, it's Creator. He doesn't look too shaken by this, though. At least not yet. Which is important, because we have seen this guy, like,
maybe
totally
he's just
lose
not
it.
showing it, though.
Yeah, true.
Could be in his head, like, oh, I don't even know why I try, like, saying some really depressing thoughts, like, we don't even know, but you're right. I mean, in his body language, he looks okay. He's definitely not smiling, but it's probably just because he's focused.
Creator is he's just one of those players where, like I said, like, he's either pouting or he's, like, fist pumping. We've seen him, like, just, like, yell in the booth as he beats people in PvP. He's, like, just, like, screaming and yelling.
He won the best...
Ace match?
Celebration.
Best
celebration for round number 1 because of that.
He's just he's so hyped, and I love that about him. I've always loved that about this guy. He's so young still. He's been around. This is his very first appearance in the GSL Super Tournament, where he almost beat MVP in the round of 64. Very first appearance. How do I know this? I'm just a man with things in my head.
You're just a guy that uses black magic and voodoo.
Black magic and voodoo, man. I control everything. Ask me about that random player who retired in Starcraft 2. I'll tell you a lot more than you ever wanted to know about them.
What was that about Guinea Pig we were talking about?
TSL Guinea Pig, yeah, he lost 0-2. The final map was Terminus Re, and he went for his final game. He was one of my favorite players. His final game was a 6-gate all-in, and his opponent, who I think was an early adopter, Kespa Switcher, went for Cloak Banshees, countered him, and won the game, and then Guinea Pig retired. Went to stream random a little bit on Twitch a few months later, but has since pretty much completely disappeared. Now, the first player to use Void Rays in Shakura's Plateau in the PvZ matchup totally changed the meta back then as well.
Yeah, man.
So just if you were curious about a little player called TSL Guinea Pig, there you go.
There you go. You got the complete summarization of the ending parts of his career, as well as the important ones.
Ask me about any old programmer. I'll tell you, like, way too much.
Look at this same build from Classic.
Yeah.
Creator should get the scout this time, though.
Yeah, he should.
I mean, if he misses it this time, I'm just going to facepalm.
Well, I mean, let's see.
Prepare your failfishes. Okay, he's going to get it. Nice.
No failfish today. Creator is most famous for, we've seen him lose a lot of probes recently, but, like, he was most famous in his peak of his career of just...
Famous for losing probes. That's so sad.
Well, he was famous for losing observers once upon a time in his career because he would literally make, like, 12 observers in the game or more, and they would die, and he would just keep making them. And they would fly into turrets over there, but he just always had them on the map. That was before, you know, hallucination scouts became popular.
Little switcheroo here after getting scouted goes for Phoenixes. I like it. It's a big map. Gonna try to get some map control in the way that Mutas do, and just be annoying and come in the back and possibly even snipe a Mothership Core if it's out of position, like right now. He's already, like, starting to tip away at those shields.
Yeah. Phoenix play is great. It's flexible and it's frustrating. It's tilting. There's the Robo.
Should actually just go for that Mothership Core.
You know, I think he will on his way back. I don't know if he could get it in time to stop the next cannon from going up, but, you know, maybe he could have. Ooh, accidentally attacked his own Stalker there.
Maybe just one Phoenix is not enough. Follow this up with the robotic stick right away.
Yeah. The Creator goes Blink. Phoenixes are a great deterrent to Blink Stalker timing attacks. We're just going to see Creator try the same thing again. Let's see if Phoenixes can shut it down as well as Immortals do. This time he's going to have both. He's not going to have a lot of gateway units to support this, but he can just lift the Phoenixes up. The smaller Stalker count on the ground gets whittled away by the Immortals, and then once the Phoenixes drop the rest of the Stalkers, they blow up too.
Let's see how safe he goes with this as well. Does he add the Robo, or does he just go straight, you know, head on, make as many Stalkers as possible, leave your Mothership Core at home? to deal with the Phoenixes.
I think he's going to skip the Robo this time, just simply because it's not going to accomplish him anything against Phoenixes. If Classic is going Phoenixes into DT, that would be pretty absurd, right? So like, I think he can reasonably skip this.
That would be some next level mind games, man.
But he's stuck in his base a little bit, and I feel like Classic in just a moment here, as soon as he sees this with these Phoenixes, is just going to make a Nexus. He's like, oh, you kept all your Blink Stalkers at home? Nexus. Might want to even
here, going to grab some gas drones. Oh, grab some probes, rather.
Oh, wow, look at that control on those Phoenixes. Could have sworn he was going to lose one. Blink wasn't ready. Creator's moving that probe forward, perhaps to get an even more forward pylon. But I think he knows he just can't hit this anymore. There's too many Immortals out. He hasn't scouted that, but he can know by this timing there should be a ton of Immortals. And he checks. He's very happy there's no Nexus there.
Yeah.
Very happy. He's like, oh my god, okay.
Imagine he comes and sees like a completed Nexus. He'd just be so sad.
Well, he'd have to commit again, just like last game, but in this case he has a bit more flexibility.
Does add that Robo, but again, it's very far behind the Robo of Classic. Classic already having 3 Immortals out. And I think it's going to be the better tech. I think he can add a Nexus here pretty safely with those 3 Immortals against Blink. And once again, Classic getting ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, he's missing that gas, man. He needs that gas.
Yeah, he does.
Just one probe. That's a lot of gas missing for a long time, as long as he doesn't realize it.
Well, at this point in time, we just finally see that Nexus come down here for Creator a bit late. The thing about Blink Stalker tech in this matchup, guys, is that it just simply does not gain. It doesn't gain utility over time. It actually loses it. The longer the game goes on, the more moles are out. The more answer your opponent has to these big Blink Stalker attacks don't work as well. You don't see them. Blinks on the main work very well. Sometimes every now and then you can have like this huge Blink Stalker attack with like 20 plus stalkers.
Delayed like 25 Stalker attack. You blink on a Colossus and just kill him. It's happened before. We've seen it.
We might see something similar to that here.
Well, Creator commits to 12 Stalkers. That's a lot of Stalkers. Doesn't look like he wants to make any more, though. I'm not sure. He just made a Sentry.
Yeah, and a Forge. Sentry's going to be for Guardian Shield, I guess. Oh, catches the Phoenixes.
Ooh, he's going to get one.
That's pretty huge. Is that Sentry
slightly massive,
Is that Sentry at home? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
4 Immortals, man. This is he's looking to possibly bink into the main. I think he should have an Observer out somewhere. Yeah, I see that slow guy making his way across. Gonna poke down here, get some probes.
See, this map works really well for this sort of move. And do this sort of thing and catch up. In the last map, he was so, especially because the Nexus was so ahead, it was forced to really commit, but in this case, he can just get a few probes and pull back because his Nexus is not that far behind, and it's pretty easy for him to transition.
Once again, Classic snipes the Observer. That's going to shut down a lot of the possible harass that Creator wanted to go for if he wanted to blink into the main. And like our Observer was showing us, better probe count here for Classic. So Classic, he gets that earlier Nexus, he's got the better tech, and he's ahead in probes once again, and he's controlling this game.
Creator just had like a ton of gas for a while, and he like just still kind of does, but his Bay is so late. I figured he was going to try to catch up in Colossi or try to go into like Charge Zealot Archons with this faster, but he did neither, and now he just simply is behind in Colossi.
Yeah. Creator, I just feel like playing a little bit scared. It's almost like he's just playing too safe. And Classic just a little bit more confident. He's just able to take these risks, and he's getting so far ahead with them.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Classic didn't have a Mothership Core for this long?
I guess not.
Whoa.
Yeah, I guess he never made one.
That's pretty crazy. Does get it now. +1 is going to finish earlier here for Classic. He can hit on that +2 timing like he did in the last game.
It's actually pretty crazy to do this all without a Mothership Core. I like trying to skip that a lot of my play, just simply because it slows down everything so much when you build
100
that.
gas, man.
Yeah. Wow, that's pretty cool. He's able to make this work. I don't even know if it was intentional or not, but I'm like, I guess he's that confident.
It seemed like he forgot it. I don't know. It's like it's exceptionally late to the point where I'm just like, whoa. You're like making a Mothership Core at 12 minutes? I don't think that was planned.
I don't think so either.
It's possible, though. I mean, these guys come up with some crazy builds.
Well, he certainly wanted to skip it for a little bit while he was getting his Phoenixes out, but after that, you would have expected him to have it just in case of that big Blink Stalker attack we were talking about, like the 20 Stalker one.
Yeah. I mean, Phoenix into 4 Immortals into pretty fast Bay, as well as upgrades, you're going to need a lot of gas. So maybe it was time.
Well, as this turns out, there's that Temple Archives coming out here for Creator in the charge, but he's already gone down the Colossus tech somewhat. He's kind of, I would say, like, doing a little bit of half-seas here. Like, he's, like, going to go down the Colossus tech, but late. This is going to work out for him well, the switch, because of the Fleet Beacon. So, like, if Classic commits to Tempest too much and he gets a big charge out Archon for a second, that can cost him. So, he needs to keep scouting these hallucinations, which is exactly what Creator's trying to deny.
At the same time, though, if Creator never attacks, we could just see Classic max out on this like crazy composition where he's got Colossi and 4 Immortals and a bunch of Tempests in the back, even making an Oracle right now for the Vision, and just in general really liking Classic's play so far. He did make a little mistake with not making the +2 right on time once the +1 finished. So in fact, Creator gets ahead with that +2 finishing a little bit faster for him.
Creator is just, he's amazing at hitting the upgrade timings. I jokingly said earlier he was famous for losing observers, but he was the guy who's all about Forge upgrades.
He missed it, man. He missed the Fleet Beacon.
Damn. That's like really close right there. Like that's the kind of moment where you're like, okay.
And he's making a second Robo, man. This is
oh boy,
it's pretty devastating. He might cancel it once he comes in here and sees it this time. He should get the scout this time.
Well,
he sees 2 Stargates. Okay,
he sees the Tempest making as well.
Now he knows.
He doesn't cancel it. He doesn't necessarily have to cancel it, but he definitely wants to make Immortals and not Colossi, which he does. Okay, Immortal on the way. The second one probably soon to join, and he is on point on the money with that +3 attack.
Yeah, it seems like he was also spending a lot of Chrono Boost on that because we saw him start it a little bit earlier, but then it just got way far ahead for him. So he's really, really focusing on that +3 attack and on those upgrades.
I almost would like to see Creator hide a base. Like, if he just sits here, like you said, this composition becomes almost unbeatable. Even though, yeah, you can get a bunch of Archons, Charge Zealots, Immortals, and try to get underneath those Tempests. If he gets maxed out with the Tempests, it's so difficult to attack with the Nexus Cannon, with Time Warps.
Yeah, and he's not even just going to have only Tempests. He's going to have Archons as well. That Temple Archive is about to finish up. He's got more Colossi. And, yeah, just in general, like I was saying, it looks like he's going to have a better maxed out army. He's just going to have so many heavy gas units.
Yeah, like,
and Creator's not taking the same risks.
Right now, the cost of Classic's army is 8,700. That's like almost 500, no, almost 1,000 more than Creator's army costs in total. I just looked at the army value, like in cost, and most of that investment in gas. Because of these Tempests, because of these Archons, these expensive units. Like, you look at the supplies right now, it's like, okay, well, he's up 10 supply right now. Well, he's up a lot more of that in money, and supply is not always indicative of actually how much power an army has.
Yeah.
Well, look at this. Look at this comp. Like, are you going to get Archons underneath those Tempests? I don't think so. Not with this many Colossi with it against his puny force. The Charge Zealots have to come in there. The time war has to be perfect.
6 Colossi and 6 Tempests. And we just see Creator making a very strange Dark Shrine. I don't think that's going to matter much. I guess he'll just go for trying to snipe an Observer and do what he did to Zest with just like fighting straight up with Dark Templar. Only one Observer for both of these guys. He knows that Classic's Robo is pretty locked up and making only Colossi, so this could definitely work if he does get the snipe on that Observer.
Yeah.
There is an Oracle with this mix, though, as well, for a Detector, so I'm not sure. He's sending out that Observer right now. He's got 2, actually.
All right, keeps tagging here for Vision for these Tempests. Wants to pick off the Archons, the Colossus, the Immortals even, anything. Getting a Stalker here doesn't hurt either. Just needs to be careful not to overcommit, because there is a lot of Charge Zealots on the ground for Creator. Okay, picks that Archon. Half its shields are gone. There's a Nexus Cannon forced.
4 DTs. Observer's kind of out of position here for Creator. He's trying to hide those DTs for now. Willing to engage. He's trying to get underneath those Tempests.
Good time warp here for Classic, but Zealots come from behind. And those Tempests do have to micro back. Some DTs here as well. Actually not detected.
Not detected right now. He might just not notice. They're tiny underneath all those Colossi.
He's not noticing here. He's still winning the fight, but the DTs might eventually turn the tide here.
Oh, okay. He does. They do walk underneath his Observer, even though he didn't really notice.
GG.
And GG. WW, in fact. Not even GG.
Wrong language.
Yeah, but he's getting tilted. We saw the same out of Rogue. And Classic takes an easy 0-2, takes a very calm sip from his drink. And I think he's going to be going to the bank with this 3-0, man.
I think so. I don't think I've ever seen Creator make a big comeback in a longer series. Like, he just doesn't do that. He gets too tilted. And he was just so far behind in both games. He did make somewhat of a comeback in that game. Like, he definitely looked a lot better in game 2 than he did in game 1. Like, he didn't look like totally dead. He was like, okay, well, maybe I can figure this out. But it was rough.
It also just seems like Classic has a better understanding of how to just, I don't know. He understands how this matchup, I guess, really in depth. He's like, okay, I know we're going pretty much to maxed out. You know, I'm not even really concerned with my upgrades here. I just want like a really good composition for the one fight that we have in PvP. And he got like some sick, crazy composition there, man. 6 Tempest, 6 Colossi, some Archons, a ton of Charged Zealots. Barely any Stalkers. I think there was like 3. Yeah. That's what you want, man.
Well, King Sejong Station. I think Classic's going to proxy. Either Stargate or his gates. Like, we see him do this proxy.
I would love to see it.
You know the one he did against State?
Yeah.
And he also did it actually against someone else recently in Pro League.